If you're over 50 or 60, there's one exercise many people think is healthy, but it could quietly raise your risk of stroke. Not while you're doing it, but hours later while you sleep. No warning. No pain. Just one night, and your life is changed. You go to bed feeling fine, and the next morning, maybe you can't lift your arm. Your speech is slurred. You feel dizzy, confused, or you can't walk straight. As a brain doctor, I've seen this happen more times than I can count. And here's what's shocking: it had nothing to do with bad cholesterol, blood pressure, or family history. In fact, these were people who were trying to stay healthy. They were doing what they thought was good for their brain and body. But it turns out the time and type of exercise they chose was quietly pushing their brain toward danger. You might be doing it too. What if the very thing you're doing to protect your brain is silently putting it at risk? I've been a brain doctor for over 20 years. In that time, I've treated thousands of patients with strokes, memory problems, and other brain issues. Some came in after years of smoking or poor health, but many were the opposite. They ate well, stayed active, took their vitamins, and tried to live right. They did everything they thought was good, and still something went wrong. That's the part that always stays with me. Not all strokes come from what we usually blame. Sometimes it's a hidden habit, something small and daily, that builds up over time and quietly puts the brain at risk. I'm not here to scare you. My goal is to protect you, to help you understand your brain better, so you can avoid the risks no one talks about. Because the truth is, most strokes can be prevented if you just know where to look. Most people are shocked when I tell them it's not running, it's not weightlifting either. The exercise I'm talking about is something many older adults do to stay strong and feel young again. It's intense evening cardio, a simple 25-minute routine, like high-speed cycling, fast treadmill sprints, or a boot camp class after dinner. These workouts may seem healthy on the outside, but done at the wrong time, under the wrong conditions, they can quietly increase your risk of a stroke. Not while you're doing the workout, but hours later, while your body is trying to rest. Think about it. You push hard through a high-intensity session at 7 or 8 p.m. Your heart is racing, your blood pressure is high, your stress hormones go up. But then, instead of winding down, you go to bed. Your brain needs calm and steady blood flow during sleep. Instead, it's dealing with pressure swings, inflammation, and sometimes dehydration. That's when trouble can start. Your arteries may already be a little stiff from age. Maybe you're on medication or haven't had enough water. Now, mix in the effects of a late workout, and your brain is working overtime when it should be resting. For some people, this creates the perfect storm for a silent overnight stroke. These kinds of strokes often happen in the early morning hours, between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., just when your body is most vulnerable. You wake up and something feels off. A heavy arm, a numb face, a confused mind. And it's not just theory. I've seen it happen again and again in real people who had no idea their evening exercise routine was part of the problem. Before I explain why this happens in more detail, I want to hear from you. Comment yes if you've ever exercised at night, or no if you always work out in the morning. I'm curious how many of us are doing this without knowing the risk. Here's what happens in your brain when you exercise intensely at night. First, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure rises. That's normal during a workout. But with intense cardio, especially in the evening, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals give you energy and keep you alert. Great for exercise, but not so great when you're about to go to sleep. Now, when you finish your workout and try to rest, your body doesn't calm down right away. Your heart might still be beating faster. Your blood vessels are still expanded, then may suddenly tighten. That pressure shift is hard on the brain, especially during sleep. In deep sleep, your brain needs steady blood flow to repair cells and support memory. But if your blood pressure suddenly drops or spikes, Your brain gets stressed. That's when problems start. Between 2 and 6 a.m., your brain is at its most vulnerable. It's working hard to recover. But if your arteries are already stiff from age, or you're on blood pressure meds, or slightly dehydrated, this creates a dangerous setup. The blood vessels can't adjust fast enough. One weak spot can rupture, or a clot can form and block flow to part of your brain. That's a stroke. There's a reason most strokes happen in the early morning. Doctors see it every day. A study in 2022 from a major research center showed that older adults who exercised intensely in the evening had a stroke risk 3 times higher than those who worked out in the morning. 3 times. That's not a small risk, it's serious. I once treated a patient, Mr. Dean, age 66. He was healthy, active, and had just taken up a late-night cycling class at his gym. He felt great during the rides. But one morning, he woke up unable to speak clearly. His right arm was numb. A stroke. Not from diet or smoking, but from pressure changes during the night that his aging brain couldn't handle after those evening workouts. He told me, "Doc, I thought I was doing something good for myself. I had no idea." This isn't to say exercise is bad. It's not. But intense workouts in the evening can quietly cause more harm than help, especially for older adults. The brain needs time, calm, and balance to stay safe while you sleep. Mr. Larry Thompson was 67, a retired high school teacher who lived a quiet life with his wife in the suburbs. He loved reading, gardening, and staying active. A few months after his retirement, he started feeling like he was slowing down, so he decided to do something about it. He joined a local gym and signed up for a high-intensity interval training class HIIT, they called it. Short bursts of fast movements, lots of sweating, big promises. The sessions were in the evenings right after dinner. "I wanted to feel young again," he told me. At first, he felt great. His energy improved. He lost a few pounds. He was proud of himself for staying committed. But one morning, things took a sudden turn. His wife found him sitting on the edge of the bed, confused and struggling to speak. His words were slurred, and his right hand felt weak. They rushed to the hospital. A CT scan confirmed Ith had a mini-stroke, what doctors call a transient ischemic attack, or TIA. It wasn't caused by blocked arteries or poor diet. His cholesterol and heart rate were normal. The issue was a rapid spike in blood pressure during the night. His blood vessels, already slightly stiff from age, couldn't handle the pressure changes after the intense evening workouts. One tiny vessel in the brain gave way. When I explained it to him, he sat quietly for a moment, then said something I'll never forget. "I thought I was doing everything right. I was trying to fight aging, not invite it in." That's the hardest part of my job, seeing good people suffer from things they didn't even know were risky. Larry's story is not rare. He recovered, but it changed the way he viewed health. He now exercises in the morning, takes short walks, and focuses more on balance than intensity. And he shares his story often, hoping to help others avoid the same mistake. Your brain at 60 is not the same as your brain at 30. That's just the truth of aging, even if you feel young at heart. Inside your body, a lot changes with time, especially when it comes to blood vessels and brain function. One of the biggest changes is how your arteries behave. When you're younger, they're flexible. Think of them like soft garden hoses that bend easily. But by the time you reach 60 or 70, those same arteries become stiffer, more like brittle tubing. They don't expand or contract as smoothly, which makes it harder for your body to adjust to quick changes in blood pressure. Now, imagine doing a hard workout at night. Your blood pressure rises fast. For a younger person, the arteries flex with the pressure. But for someone older, that same rise can push the vessels beyond what they can handle. That's when tiny tears or ruptures can happen, especially in the brain, where the vessels are even more delicate. Another issue is how your body handles adrenaline. Intense exercise releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. When you're 30, your system clears them out pretty quickly. But as you age, your body becomes more sensitive to these chemicals, and it takes longer to calm down. So, after a late-night workout, your brain stays in a high-alert state longer than it should, even while you sleep. That extra tension can keep your heart rate higher than normal and disturb your sleep cycle. And sleep plays a huge role in brain health. Deep REM sleep is when your brain repairs itself, forms memories, and clears out waste. But if your body is still buzzing from a workout, your sleep may be light, interrupted, or cut short. That means your brain doesn't get the rest it needs, and over time, this adds up raising your risk for stroke, memory problems, and mental fog. Also, with age, the walls of your blood vessels become thinner and more fragile. They don't heal as fast. They don't bounce back from stress the same way. So even a small pressure spike can cause damage that wouldn't have happened years ago. These changes are normal, but they also mean you have to move differently, eat differently, and yes, exercise differently. It's not about doing less. It's about doing it smarter. Knowing how your aging brain and body respond is the key to staying safe, strong, and independent. Mrs. Eleanor Harris is 72, a retired nurse who always believed in staying active. Even after retiring, she kept a routine healthy meals, daily walks, staying busy with her garden. A few months ago, she decided to boost her fitness and started walking on the treadmill every evening after dinner. She wasn't running, just walking fast, listening to music, feeling good. "I wanted to keep my heart strong," she said. Everything seemed fine, until one evening she felt lightheaded as she stepped off the treadmill. She brushed it off as nothing, but the next night it happened again: dizziness, a little blurry vision. Then one morning she got out of bed and suddenly collapsed. Her husband rushed her to the hospital. Tests showed a minor brain bleed. A small vessel in her brain had burst during the night. The doctors pieced it together. Eleanor had been doing intense evening walks right after eating. She was also taking blood pressure medication, and like many people, she wasn't drinking enough water. The combination was risky. Her blood pressure dropped too low during the night, then shot up again. Her brain couldn't handle the pressure changes. One tiny vessel, already fragile with age, gave out. She was lucky. The bleed was small, and with treatment, she recovered. But her balance isn't what it used to be. She now walks with a cane, and her confidence has taken a hit. "I never imagined walking on a treadmill could cause this," she told me. And that's the problem. It wasn't the treadmill. It was the timing, the pressure swings, the medications, and the lack of hydration. All these small things added up. Have you ever felt dizzy or lightheaded after an evening workout? Type Hutions in the comments if yes, because that might be your body trying to warn you. Don't ignore those signs. Exercise is one of the best things you can do for your brain and body at any age. But as you get older, it's not just about staying active. It's about doing the right kind of movement at the right time. What worked for you at 30 might not be safe at 60 or 70, especially when it comes to protecting your brain. The safest time to exercise is in the morning or early afternoon. That's when your body is most ready to move, your blood pressure is more stable, and your brain is alert. A morning walk, some light stretching, or a short swim can boost circulation, lift your mood, and support memory, all without putting stress on your system. The best types of exercise for older adults are light to moderate activities. Walking outside, gentle yoga, swimming, or using light weights can improve strength and balance without raising your risk. These movements support brain health and reduce the chance of blood pressure spikes. What you want to avoid are fasted, high-intensity workouts, especially early in the morning before breakfast or late in the evening after dinner. Intense cardio at night may feel energizing in the moment, but it keeps your heart rate and stress hormones high long after you stop. That can disturb your sleep and put pressure on your brain during the hours it needs to rest most. Also, avoid pre-workout drinks or energy boosters late in the day. Many of these contain caffeine or stimulants that may cause hidden blood pressure changes and interfere with your body's ability to calm down. Exercise should feel good, not leave you dizzy, tired, or restless at night. Your brain depends on consistency and balance, not extremes. Small, steady habits done at the right time will protect you far more than pushing too hard at the wrong hour. If you want to protect your brain and still stay active, there are safer and smarter ways to do itones I often recommend to my own patients. You don't need extreme workouts or late-night gym sessions to stay strong. In fact, gentle, steady movement at the right time of day is much more powerful, especially for brain health. Start with a simple 30-minute morning walk. Go outside if you can. The sunlight helps regulate your sleep cycle, boost mood, and wake up your brain. Walking also increases blood flow to the brain without putting pressure on your heart or blood vessels. Add light strength training 2 or 3 times a week. This could be resistance bands, small dumbbells, or even body weight movements like wall push-ups or squats. Building muscles supports balance, protects joints, and improves circulation, all important for aging brains. Another excellent option is Tai Chi, or gentle yoga. These movements are slow, controlled, and calming. They reduce stress, help lower blood pressure, and may even support neuroplasticity, that's your brain's ability to adapt and grow. Even a 15-minute routine a few times a week can make a big difference. Always hydrate well before and after exercise. Even slight dehydration can affect blood flow and brain function. Keep a water bottle nearby and drink throughout the day, not just during workouts. And don't forget recovery. Omega-3 rich foods like salmon, sardines, chia seeds, or walnuts help reduce inflammation in the brain. They also support memory and mental clarity over time. This kind of routine may seem simple, but it works. It supports your brain without the stress or risk of intense evening workouts. It helps you feel clear-headed, balanced, and more in control. The goal isn't to train harder, it's to train smarter, especially as you age. Here's when I worry the most: when someone over 60 tells me they're doing high-intensity workouts in the evening, not drinking enough water, taking blood pressure medication, and also not sleeping well. That combination may seem harmless, but it's actually one of the most dangerous setups for the brain. It's like putting a firecracker into a balloon. Something's going to give. Evening HIIT raises your heart rate and stress hormones at a time when your body should be winding down. If you're also dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, making it harder to flow smoothly through your vessels. Add blood pressure meds to the mix, and your system may not respond well to the spikes and drops. And when you finally try to sleep, your brain doesn't get the deep rest it needs. Instead, it's trying to recover under pressure. For younger people, the body can usually bounce back. But for older adults, the arteries are stiffer, the vessel walls thinner, and the brain more sensitive to change. That's when a stroke or brain bleed can happen, often in the early hours of the morning while you're still asleep. This mix of habits might not cause problems right away, but over time, it builds risk quietly. That's why I always say, it's not just what you do, it's when and how you do it that matters most. Mrs. Margot Lee is 69 and full of life. A retired school principal, she was always active, always moving. She used to do evening workout videos in her living room, jumping jacks, fast step routines, even some light weights. I wanted to keep my energy up, she said. But over time, she started feeling more tired in the mornings. Her blood pressure was climbing, her sleep was restless, and she noticed her focus wasn't as sharp as before. After a routine checkup, her doctor warned her that her blood pressure was too unstable. That's when she came to me, and we looked deeper. Her nighttime workouts, combined with age and a few medications, were quietly creating stroke risk. She wasn't doing anything wrong, just doing it at the wrong time. So we made a change. She moved her workouts to the morning and switched from fast-paced routines to brisk walking. She avoided any intense exercise after 6 p.m. and made sure to drink more water. Within a few weeks, she started sleeping better. Her blood pressure leveled out. Her mind felt clearer. "I don't feel older," she told me. "I feel smarter about how I move." That's what it's all about. You don't have to give up exercise. You just have to adjust it to match what your brain and body need now. Margot's story is proof that small changes can bring big results and help you stay strong, sharp, and safe. It's not about fear, it's about awareness. Most strokes don't come out of nowhere. They build up from small habits, the ones we don't think twice about. The truth is, many of them are preventable. A few simple changes in your daily routine, like moving your workout to the morning or staying better hydrated, can lower your risk in a big way. The problem is, no one talks about these hidden dangers. People think if something feels healthy, it must be safe. But now you know better. Don't let a good habit done at the wrong time become your greatest threat. Your body has changed. Your brain needs different care than it did years ago. But that doesn't mean you can't stay active or strong. It just means doing it smarter. Knowing when to move, how to rest, and how to listen to your body could be the thing that protects your brain for years to come. Did any part of this surprise you? What's one small change you'll make starting this week? Let me know in the comments. I read every one. And if you're ready to take control of your brain health, type Brain Smart in the comments right now. Give this video a like if you found it helpful. It helps others find it too. And don't forget to subscribe for more honest, science-based tips that keep your brain strong and your body safe.